How do you navigate through arguments in your marriage? Am I on birth control? Tips for keeping the spark alive after being married a while. I feel like there's more I want to say about this, but I don't know like how far is too far on a YouTube video. Hello friends, welcome to a new vlog. Today I'm filming a bake with me / girly talk, girl talk Q&A kind of video. So I think it should be a fun one. It's definitely a little bit different than what I normally do. This lighting is not the best. I have like a little ring light here because my kitchen lighting situation is not the best. It's also like 7:30, almost 8 o'clock right now. Also, please excuse the dishwasher noises if you can hear them. You probably can. If I open it and stop it, it's gonna start beeping at me, and our dishwasher takes like 3 hours to clean stuff. I don't know if that's normal, but anyway, hopefully it won't be too loud or distracting, but we're just working with what we got. I am genuinely so excited right now to make these cookies. I actually have the recipe pulled up right here on my blog. Oh, it's like really bright. They're like my famous, perfect, plant-based, healthier chocolate chip cookies. They are vegan, gluten-free, refined sugar-free, and most importantly, like the best cookies you ever tasted, in my opinion. So I'm very excited to get baking tonight, but first, let's answer a question to get this puppy started. I posted a story on my Instagram just a couple hours ago asking you guys to submit questions for me. I said the theme is like girl talk, but also no questions are off limits. So we've got a good mix of questions. Thank you guys for submitting questions. I'm gonna start with a chill, very tame question. Are you still wanting to move to Nashville? Before I answer the question, I need to start my baking process. Otherwise, I'll just sit here and talk to you guys all night and then forget to bake. But I've already preheated the oven to 350, so that's the first step. And then I'm just gonna add 2 cups of almond flour. This is super finely milled, finely ground almond flour. This is just the Publix brand. 2 cups of that are going into my bowl. I'm also adding a 1/4 cup of maple syrup and a 1/4 cup of melted coconut oil into the bowl. I feel like this is harder than I thought I was gonna be, talking and trying to bake and tell you what I'm doing as I'm baking. So this might not have been the best idea for a video, but you know what? We're gonna just roll with it. So Nashville, do we wanna still move there? Yes, we definitely do. Nashville is a place that we love. We're actually going there this weekend. And yes, we definitely do still picture ourselves living there and plan to live there someday, but I feel like our timeline has definitely shifted a bit. Now I'm adding 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, maybe a little bit more because I accidentally spilled it. This is just the Trader Joe's organic pure bourbon vanilla extract, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Not baking powder, baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, and 1 cup of chocolate chips is going in the bowl. Okay, I've just stirred up the batter. You really do not want to over mix these cookies because I've realized that when I do that, they're not as like crispy and crunchy and amazing. They just get a little bit more like almost stale. Not stale, but like they feel like the texture of them just isn't quite right. So don't over mix them. You want to incorporate everything, but you don't want it to get to the point where like it's really smooth or anything. Like you want it to be chunky and a bit like messy looking, if that makes sense. So this is sort of the texture that we're going for, and now I'm going to start rolling them up into little cookie balls, dough balls, and putting them on the sheet. So I think I can chat more and answer questions while I'm doing that. This is the perfect cookie dough ball size in my opinion. So you just want to gently smush it down a little bit, not too flat, but just enough so that it is like a nice little cookie shape. Just like that. Okay, I feel like I can finally chat now that I'm just gonna be like rolling cookie dough. But yes, like I said, Nashville, we love, will always love, always have a special, special place in my heart for there. With that being said, Florida has definitely grown on me a lot. Josh didn't really need that much convincing because he always kind of liked it here and didn't mind being here. We both would rather, of course, be in Nashville, but the main reason we are still here is because Josh's job is based here, and at this moment he's not really able to work remotely, so that's why we're here. Most of my immediate family lives right here in the same town, so that is obviously like the biggest bonus of living here. Like my niece lives right down the road. She's about to be 2 this Christmas, which is crazy. But that has been just such a blessing to be here and get to like watch her grow up and just spend so much time with them. So that's been like the best part of being in Florida. But also it's just, Florida's growing on me. Like I don't know what it is. Like the summer just wasn't that bad. And that's really the only time that I'm like hating Florida is during summer because it gets so hot. I don't know. I'm starting to see it in a new light and enjoy it more and embrace it more and like just sort of make the most of the time that we have here, because I know that we're not gonna be here forever. And it really is a really cool place to live. Like, we're so close to all the beaches. There's so many beaches all around us. Living here in Central Florida, we're so close to like either coast, which is so nice. There's so many cute little beach towns. The theme parks are amazing, obviously. We love Disney, we love Universal. And Orlando is actually like a really, really good foodie city. Like, we have a lot of really cool restaurants. There's natural springs. There's just like a lot to do, and it's really beautiful. So, and especially in wintertime, like fall and winter and even like into spring, the weather is just unbeatable. Like, it is so stunning. So I'm excited to finally get into that season and like be thriving again. But anyway, that was a really long-winded way to say that yes, we still want to move to Nashville, but I'm much happier and more content in Florida for now than I was. So like before, I was like really rushing to get out of here, and now I'm kind of like, okay, I could see us being here for a couple more years at least. Not that I wouldn't, like, if I had the opportunity to move to Nashville tomorrow, like obviously I would, but it's nice here for now. I've only answered one question, but the cookies are already ready to go in the oven, so I'm gonna put these in the oven and then I'll answer some questions while they're baking. And they are going to bake for 12 to 14 minutes. So I'll set the timer for 12 and we'll check on them. Okay, the cookies are in the oven, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer some more questions. The next question is, my cousin Macy asked how many PSLs are too many PSLs. I would have to say never too many. Like, it's not, that doesn't exist, that's not a thing. So knock yourself out. Ooh, someone asked, how do you navigate through arguments in your marriage? So Josh and I definitely have our arguments. Having conflict in a marriage is totally healthy and normal. So I just wanna say that first. I would say that I'm actually quite a feisty, like passionate person, especially with Josh and like the people that I'm really, really comfortable with. I don't really have an issue like with conflict, I guess, or like I obviously have an issue with, I don't like conflict at all, but I don't have an issue with confrontation or like bringing stuff up, at least to like my closest circle of people that I love the most. And so I definitely have to watch my tongue a lot and really try my best, especially around the time of the month. It's always the worst for arguments and fighting. I really have to just like try to remove myself if I'm getting heated from the situation and cool down. Otherwise I'll just like say some stupid stuff that I totally regret. And so yeah, I'm definitely trying to get better at that all the time, but the best, healthiest thing I can do for both of us in that situation whenever things like start to get heated is just like go chill out, lock myself away in a room, or go for a walk or run or work out or clean. Actually, I actually am like a weird like angry cleaner. Like if I'm upset, like I love to just like clean it out, so that helps. It's never good when we're both just like heightened emotions and like trying to like talk something out. Like it just never really ends well for us. Like we both have to like go our separate ways, chill out, and then come back when we're both like cooled off, and then we can come back together and talk like adults about it. The cookies are done. Exactly 12 minutes I think was perfect for this batch. How good did these look? I wish you could smell this. They smell unbelievable. I just put the cookies on the cooling rack to cool off, and it's taking every ounce of willpower and self-discipline I have to not eat 5 of them right now, but I'm gonna let them cool off, and I'm gonna finish answering this question because I am all over the place with these questions, I feel like. I will say something that definitely helps us in arguments is that neither of us ever are holding a grudge. Like neither of us want to be in a fight. I would say like 9 times out of 10, like even if, you know, we're really upset and angry and like butting heads and like we walk away from each other, usually all it takes is like 5 or 10 minutes for us to come back together and be like, look, that was dumb. Usually I'll walk into the room and just like look at it and we'll both start laughing, because like neither of us can take each other, or not take each other seriously, but like take ourselves seriously. Most of the stuff is just silly that we're arguing about anyway, so it ends up just being like funny to us after we've like had our angry moment, and we're just kind of like, okay, that was dumb. The cookies are nice and cooled off, so I'm just gonna pour myself a little glass of oat milk to enjoy with my warm cookies. I'm so happy right now. I wish I could send every single one of you a cookie right now. Maybe one day I will. Maybe I'll have a cookie company. We never know. That would be a dream, actually. Okay, let's do a taste test. First, we dunk, obviously. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, nothing about this cookie tastes like it would be a healthier version. Like it is so, so, so good. Wow. Okay, next question is a bit of a juicy one, and it is, am I on birth control? This is a topic that I actually love to talk about, and I have a video on my YouTube channel from like years and years and years ago. It's really old. I'll like put a little card here if you want to check it out after this video is done. But I've talked all about my birth control story, my situation in that video. But the answer is no, I'm not on normal birth control. I'm not on hormonal birth control, or like conventional birth control, I guess. So what I do for birth control, and this is what I've been doing since we got married, is I do the BBT method. I guess that's what they're calling it these days. I don't really know, but it's basically your basal body temperature. You monitor it every single morning, and I do not do this by myself. I would never trust myself to like figure out the calculations and like write it down every day. So what I have is this thing called the Lady Comp, and it is a fertility computer basically. It's this little round computer looking thing. It's like a little gadget. It sits on my nightstand and it has an alarm in it, so it goes off every morning. That's my alarm, and I immediately just roll over, put the little thermometer in my mouth. You have to wait like a little bit long. That's the only downside about it, is that you have to wait for like, I think it's a whole minute. But I basically always just fall back asleep with it in my mouth. And then it beeps whenever it's done taking your temperature. You look at it and it will give you a light, so either a green, a yellow, or a red light. So if you get a green light, it means you're good to go, you're not fertile. So if you're not trying to get pregnant, you can have unprotected sex and you're totally fine, you're not gonna get pregnant. If it's red, it means you are fertile. So if you're trying to get pregnant, that's a good time to have unprotected sex to try to conceive. And if you're not trying to conceive, you should definitely wear a condom, or just don't do it on those days. But yeah, we always just like wear a condom if we wanna do it on the red days, on the fertile days. This is like so TMI, but I find it really interesting, and I feel like it would be so helpful if I heard this from someone when I was younger, like going through learning what to do for birth control. Oh, and the yellow light means that it's just still kind of calculating. So if like you didn't, maybe you went to sleep like super late one night, or you're sick and you have a fever or something, and it gets a little bit confused, then you'll have a yellow light, and then that just means like play it safe, like just use protection if you're not trying to get pregnant on those days. That is the story with my birth control situation. If you'd like to know more, always just feel free to DM me on Instagram, or even like comment below and we can chat about it. Or if you want me to make a whole other like updated video, I can do that. Like I feel like not that much has changed or updated, so I will definitely link the older video that I did a few years ago, all about my birth control journey and situation, down below. It explains everything in detail better than I probably explained it just now, so check that out if you're interested. But yeah, that's story on that. Okay, next question. Have you tried the period cup, LOL? Yes, I have. I actually have one. I don't know how I feel about it. Like I've never used it in real life, like to go anywhere with it in. I've only tried it on like at home, and I think it definitely like takes some getting used to, and like it's a learning curve. I haven't tried to use it in like over a year probably, but I didn't hate it. And I feel like it's easier than it looks, but at the same time, like it still is like a bit messy. Sorry, I'm realizing this might be gross. This is a baking video and like a food video and we're talking about this, but it's fine. We're all girls here. So yes, I've tried it. Not the biggest fan ever. I feel like it's just so much easier to just like put a tampon in or use a pad. It's so much more convenient. Like you don't have to take it out and like make your hand kind of messy and then have to like rinse it off and clean it off, and it's just a lot more work. But that being said, it would save you so much money, and also it's way better for the environment. I want to say like I believe in them and I feel like they're a great idea, and if it works for you, that's amazing. And like I definitely do want to try it again and see if I can make it work. But at this point, I'm not using it currently. Someone asked me guilty pleasures ? And one that comes to the top of my mind immediately is Love Island. It just ended like a week ago, and my life is like so boring now that I don't have Love Island to watch every night. And when I say Love Island, I'm only talking about the UK version, not the US version. The US version is trash compared to the UK version. UK is like the original. It is so good. Yes, it's like absolutely like trashy reality TV, but at the same time, it feels so wholesome and cozy somehow. I don't know what it is. Like you just get to know these people so well. The show airs every single day of the week except Saturday, so it's 6 days a week, and you just like spend so much time with these people, and you just like develop such a genuine like love for these people. Like you really care about them by the end of it. It's so fun to see obviously their relationships grow and like the love side of it, but also just like the friendships is probably the best part. Just seeing how everybody's getting along, and like they're just funny little inside jokes and stuff. Like it's just really cute. And there's definitely some crazy drama, but it's not like so crazy. Like, I don't know, there's no like bullying. Even the girls are like so nice with each other. There's no like cattiness or like bitchiness. Like, it's really a nice show. Also, all of like the UK slang and like random words that they use are so funny and just like great. Like, we have like a full different vocabulary while we're watching Love Island. Like, Josh and I will talk to each other like in their lingo, and it's really funny and fun. So yeah, Love Island is definitely a guilty pleasure. Someone asked, how old are you? I am actually 28 years old, and like, I don't want to talk about it because that's just way too old for me. It's very close to 30, and that's terrifying. Just to be totally real with you guys right now, I definitely would have thought that I would have been like in my dream house by now with like 2 kids, traveling the world, and like having, you know, a lot of success by now. Clearly that's not the case at the moment, but that timeline was when I was like 15 and didn't know any better and didn't know anything. By the time Josh and I got married, I was 23 when we got married, and by that time I was like, yeah, I probably won't want to start trying for kids until like 28, 29. That being said, I'm 28 right now, and I don't think we're gonna start trying until a little bit while longer. At least another year, I think, is when we're probably gonna start trying. That was actually another question. Sorry, I should have actually answered this when I was talking about birth control, but somebody asked, where is it? They said, sorry if it's a sensitive question, don't answer if so, but have you started trying for kids yet? It's not. I understand that it can totally be a sensitive question for some people that are trying and like aren't able to conceive, and that's so awful. I can imagine that, but it's not sensitive for me right now because we haven't started trying yet and don't really plan to for another little while. You never know what can happen, obviously. Like, things happen, and we would be over the moon if we did get pregnant tomorrow, but at the same time, I just feel like I really want to feel ready for it. I want to like be in a home that we're gonna be in for a long time. I want to feel more settled, and yeah, I feel like that's probably not gonna happen for the next year or two, so that's sort of the timeline for now, but we'll see what happens. Okay, last question is tips for keeping the spark alive after being married a while. So Josh and I have been married for 5 years already, but I would say that just going on dates together, like having a set date night every week or every other week, like however often you can fit it into your schedule, like realistically. For us, we really try to get it in every single week. Thursday night is usually our date night, and that time is so important for us because it's like designated intentional time to just connect with each other, talk to each other, listen to each other. Obviously we try to do that as well throughout the week, but most of the time we're like just like kind of busy and running around and crazy, and we can kind of be like ships passing in the night. So having that dedicated time just set apart for each other, like to intentionally work on being more connected and like loving each other, is really important for us. So usually we'll just go out to like a nice dinner or something. I feel like we are such like foodie people, so that's like our favorite thing to do, is just like go out to nice dinners. But it doesn't always have to be like fancy or extravagant. Like, a lot of times we'll have like just a pizza night at home and like put on like a really cute Disney like classic movie and just like have that time together. So it doesn't always have to be like a big ordeal. So date nights definitely help. Also, I would say just like doing new things together. I'd say anytime that we travel together or do something new, just like getting out and doing new stuff together instead of just like being in your routine, like in your little... I just realized that I have the biggest zit of all time on my chin right now. I woke up and it was like kind of sore here, and now it's like fully emerging. And I'm so sorry that you've had to be looking at this whole video. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Anyway, another thing I'll say that definitely keeps the spark alive is making sure, and sorry again if this is too TMI, I feel like this is like such a oversharing kind of video, but definitely making time for sexy time. It just, there's something magical about it. It's more than just physical. Like, there's something like very spiritual about it that just like keeps you so connected and binded. I feel like I really can tell, like there's just something about it. If we let too much time go between sexy time, we just like aren't meshing well together. Like, things just like feel like it just feels off. And so it's very important and very healthy. And yeah, I feel like there's more I want to say about this, but I don't know like how far is too far on a YouTube video. So we're gonna park it here. Maybe I can do like a whole separate dedicated video to talking about way more juicy stuff. If you want that, definitely let me know in the comments and I would do it for you. Yeah, those were all the questions. Thank you so much to everybody who submitted a question and gave me something to talk about in this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was insightful. Hopefully you enjoyed watching me bake some cookies. Let me know if you ever make these cookies. Maybe you could like put this video on and bake along with me. That would be fun. I am gonna go enjoy these cookies and see what my husband's up to. And I will see you guys in another video very, very soon. Bye.